Welcome everybody, my name is Kenley, and this is my little mini review and afterthoughts underneath the table that I just played on for the game called Teeny Epic Quest. Now under the table is my mini little review on the game that I just played, which was obviously Teeny Epic Quest. Now I kickstarted this game, and it seems like I kickstart a lot of games, but I must say, anytime Gamelyn Games comes out with a new game on Kickstarter, I am the first to back it 100%, because not only do they create tremendous games with a lot of different themes and gameplay elements, they also create amazing games for solo players, and I hope that they keep it up. In fact, I would like to see a dedicated solo game from Gamelyn Games. I think that would be amazing, kind of like Friday, if you know what I mean. I kickstarted Teeny Epic Quest the moment I heard of it. The moment I heard about Teeny Epic Quest, I thought, I want that game. That is the game that I want. You may believe that just because it comes in a little box like this, that the gameplay is lacking, or it's not as epic as the title may make it seem. But that's not true. You can see on my table up there, like, I don't know, like, do you want to take a look? Like, look at, you can see how it spreads out amongst it. You know, you can see how it spreads. Like, there's so much packed into this little box. Oh, I love it. Scott Elms, you're a baller, my friend. And so is Gamelyn Games for creating this month. Now on under the table, I review and tell you my afterthoughts on this game, but I tell you my ideas and whatnot. So we're gonna dig into the build of it, the box quality, the instructions, the game quality of it, because you never know when you might get a dud, if you know what I mean. Okay, now I think I just need to get out of my head, quite honestly, because I'm too much in my head tonight, and I apologize if this after review is crap. I don't know why, I really enjoyed the game, but it's late at night. I worked all day today, and now I'm finishing up the playthrough. I don't know, I don't even know if this will make it into the edit, quite honestly. This year, I believe, the beginning of this year, I kickstarted Teeny Epic Quest. It was either the beginning of this year or the end of last year. But when I kickstarted it, Gamelyn Games always does the deluxe edition. Come on, focus puppy, focus, focus baby! Anyways, so on that Kickstarter, I got some exclusives, okay? I didn't play with any of them, in all honesty though, from what I know. I know the deluxe edition, what it comes with is the golden mushroom expansion pack. I don't know if you can see it there, but this expansion pack looks really awesome. I haven't played it yet, in all honesty, but let me get everything out here. I mean, I don't know if you'll be able to get this, but if you pick it up, Teeny Epic Quest is absolutely tremendous, and so if you can get it with the golden mushroom expansion pack, I highly recommend it. Pay a little extra $1, get this expansion pack, because in there it actually makes the game a little bit harder. So you get new map cards, a few new map cards. You get the little instruction booklet, which I must confess I haven't really looked at. This is probably the next thing that I'm going to be playing solo. Although I screwed up so much, spoiler alert, don't watch this. I always gotta say, spoiler alert, because you shouldn't be watching this if you haven't watched the gameplay on the table, okay? So go watch that first, then come back and watch this. But spoiler alert, once again, I lost, and I have a few things to say about that towards the end of this video. But anyway, so we're just talking about the Kickstarter, right? And included in the deluxe edition, because I Kickstarter, was the expansion, which has these, I don't know if you can see it. Oh my God, come on, focus in, camera, focus in. I don't know if it's focusing for you. I may just be too pretty for the camera. I think that expansion makes it a little bit more difficult, but essentially what you gotta do is these guys get spread around the map, and you get to save the little golden mushrooms. Woo! Let's talk about the build of it now. The box art is tremendous, okay? I don't know if it'll zoom in or focus in on that, but the box art, my friends, look at that. So that's the front. The back is awesome. Now I'm throwing it all around. It's just because of the weird way that I'm sitting underneath this table. But look at, not only is the front and the back tremendous, like they've done an amazing job. I love how Gamelyn Games gives you all the information along the bottom about how it's short playtime, high strategy, medium entry, small box, although logically speaking, we can tell it's a small box. Anyways, I like their little icons there. But not only that, this box is small, but oh my God, is it epic and mighty. Look at this. When you crack open this egg, you get a little dice grotto there. In the dice grotto, I don't know if it's zooming in or not, but you can tell that, you see, it tells you how you're supposed to play certain things, and it's beautiful. This is internal box art, my friends. And then the back of the box, oh my God, the bottom of the box. Look it! Look it! Gamelyn Games always does an amazing job, but this one is especially beautiful. Let's talk about cardstock quality, shall we? Now the cardstock of it is absolutely great in my opinion. Really good stock. Some other games that I've had, gonna switch, are not as great, if you know what I mean. But this stock is great. You get a lot of cards, I guess, to create the map. With the expansion, you get 3 more. Just in the traditional normal box that you'd probably buy from the store, you get just enough to create your map on the table, which you can see. So there's a lot of randomization in there with where the areas can go. But other than that, there's a lot of randomization that way. Also, if you flip the cards over, you get a much more harder tile set, which I think is important to know. Things just get harder in the gloom falls, or whatever they call it within the instructions, right? So that's cool. So replayability on this way is great. You can shuffle it up quite a lot. If you want a harder game, you can flip them around, draw them this way so it's on the darker side, and then replayability is great in that way. But I must say, and I don't know why, maybe it's because I've just come off of playing games like Post-Human and games where there's a lot more variation to the tiles and you'll never get through them all. I kind of wish, excuse me, maybe I'm coming down with a cold or something. But I kind of wish that these map tiles were more varied and that you had a lot more of them that you wouldn't use on your first playthrough, and that it randomizes it that way. That would be kind of interesting. But other than that, I mean, quality is great, gameplay is tremendous. Let me tell you about the instructions, because the gameplay is all within there, you know what I mean? And this little instruction book right here gives you all the information that you need, and then some, because you gotta remember that box that I showed you, it gives you instructions on the box as well, right? Like even some of the game pieces, like this, like it tells you how many points you get as you go along the track. That's important because it's right there in your face. But the instructions, wow! Wowzers, wowzers, wowzers. Tremendously laid out, okay? This instruction book is great, just like all Gamelyn games, if you know what I mean. It starts you off with how to set up your game. That's why I don't really have to show you. And it goes through step by step what each movement does, you know? And what each card does, and what each obelisk does, and the different regions. This is tremendous. And then in the back, you know, granted, there's a very small solo rule section, but it gives you the information that you need. And then also in the rest of the instruction booklet, this is useful for solo players as well, as you can see. So I just give props for this book. Tremendous. Tons of amazing information and great information that you need in a very easy to follow format. And then also, hey, it's my adventure, the little yellow guy at the back of the book. So who wouldn't want to like that? You know what I mean? Who wouldn't want to like that? Beautiful! Oh yeah. We've already talked a little bit about the build of the game once you cracked open into it. But let's say, come on, absolutely amazing, quite honestly. And I know I've always said this, but now we're talking about ItemMeeples, my friends. We're talking about ItemMeeples. Okay. Woo! Wait, okay. From talking about the cards on the table that you get, okay? Great quality, great artwork, tremendous. The little cards that you get within the game, boom, those things are amazing just as well, okay? We're just gonna get the things out of the way that are tremendous and should be tremendous in any game. We're talking about the dice now. Zoom in, focus, it's not gonna focus, it's not gonna focus. Focus, focus, focus. Well, shit. Anyways, the dice, baller. I love it. Like they're kind of unique. They're marbled and they have engraved icons on it. Very good color. None of the color that's within these dice, which you're probably not going to be able to see on the camera, but none of the color is like outside of the lines, which I did have troubles with in some other games, but not in this game at all. Down to your little cardboard, your thick cardboard goblins. Keep the goblins out of the cave, my friend. You know what I'm saying? Down to the wooden blocks. Ah, yeah, like the little, I mean, come on. They even gave you a little, like, I want this one to focus. Like, this reminds me of Elf Quest. Focus on his face. Wow. It doesn't want to focus on his face. But it just tells you how small these things are, okay? So there's the little elf guy, which is awesome. And then you have your item rack, which is crazy. like this thing is freaking crazy. It has all the little items on it that you can take off. I got the gem and some of the other things, I think the bow and arrow and whatnot, but you can see these little things. You could probably paint them. I don't know how they turn out. I think I've seen some videos, in all honesty, of people painting them, but that's cool. I think that's really awesome. It gives you a little rack to stick them in and whatnot. And then now let's talk about the stars of the show, the little ItemMeeples, okay, TM. Let me tell you about Loom. But these little ItemMeeples are well built. Amazing idea, quite honestly. You can see some of my meeples. You can see some of my meeples got like a little bow and arrow figure, or this guy who got the gem and the shield, and we still lost. We still lost. I don't know why. But these little guys, amazing. Whoever thought of that, give that person a raise. I think it's Scott Elms. What a guy. What a guy. That guy, he's thinking, let me tell you. These little guys are awesome. I'd like to see them in more games, quite honestly. But that leads us into, I guess, my questions on these little guys, okay? And perhaps my concerns of the game itself. My concerns on it are these things are like specks of dust, okay? Including the little heart and the little elf guy. Those things are specks of dust, my friends. They are small. I think they cover my pinky nail. Like, that's how big some of these wooden tokens are. And then when you're talking about the item rack and the little bits on there, they're small. And I mean, like, you can't even see it. There's specks of dust. I really like it. Like, I love these, okay? So don't get me wrong. I think these are awesome. But I am scared that I'm going to try and take one out, and I had issues even in the filming of this, but trying to take out one of these things, like the little potion bottle or something, and beep, it shoots off out of between your fingers, and you can never find it again. It gets swept up, it gets vacuumed up. I wish they were kind of bigger, in all honesty. I think if it was a little bigger, it would be awesome, you know? Or do I? I don't know. I like how the meat, see, now this is the problem with me, and my wife knows it, everybody knows it, you know what I mean? But this is an interesting thing to know about me, is that I can have two positions. And so, as I was talking in the video, which I'm probably gonna keep in, I was thinking, you know, they're too small. But now when I'm looking at the ItemMeeple, when they're holding their little gem and shield, I think that's the right size. These little meeples are the same size as the wooden block ones. Like, they are basically the same size, except they're more awesome because they have holes for goodies. So, I don't know, this is one that I have to think about. I don't know what you think. You should leave a comment below and let me know your thoughts on the size of these things. Because I must say, I can see having problems. Like, I lost one just there. But I can see having problems taking them in and out of this little rack, as well as attaching them to the little meeple and all that. Although it's well done, I just feel like they're a little too small, you know? And I know it's a teeny epic game and whatnot, but right now that's how I'm gonna leave it. Try and change my mind, everybody, if you want to. I think if you increase the size of it just by a little bit, and the meeples by a little bit, maybe it would be easier. It just seems very finicky. Actually, in all honesty, I thought I was gonna be, I really thought, after watching some playthroughs and all that this item rack was gonna be useless. Is that I was never gonna really utilize it to the extent that I did, and I'm quite happy that the game proved me wrong. You really utilize these little icons, and they're important because it helps tell you which meeple has those special powers. Right? You can have the cards and you can say, oh, I'm gonna have this card over here. This character has the bow, this character has the gem. But in all honesty, this is a tremendous visual aid that I think is just absolutely important. Absolutely important. Bravo, Gamelyn Games, bravo, Scott Elms, for another amazing Kickstarter game that has a tremendous solo aspect to it. Let me tell you, recently I played some games where they said it was solo, and holy, it's not true. Now, with all Scott Elms games, I've never had a teeny epic game that I kickstarted where printing was askew, or the cards were crap, or the artwork was nonsense. I mean, all this stuff, woo. Those people are amazing. Even the ItemMeeples, like, those are beautiful. I can't talk about them enough. Dice, baller. And even though that these teeny epic item rack has the specks of dust on them, each speck of dust looks sharp. It looks quality. Like, you're not gonna be able to see it if I hold it up to the camera. It's just gonna be a blur. But I'm telling you, there's a key on here that has a lion head as its tip. And holy shit, this thing is small, but I can see the details in it. I think they deserve to be painted, if you know what I mean. Wish they were bigger, but they don't have to be, in all honesty. Well, that's it on Teeny Epic Quest. This game, oh my god. A lot of people have compared to Zelda Breath of the Wild or Zelda, and I must say I can see it, because I think the marketing that this game did tried to cash in a little bit on Breath of the Wild. In all honesty, I could be wrong. I don't even know when each of them came out, but I've never played Zelda up until this point. I recently got a Switch, so I'm excited to try it out. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about this game and if it's Zelda-like. And in all honesty, I don't know. I think it stands on its own. It's a lot of fun. It's more fun than I kind of thought that it was going to be, right? When I take a look at at the land going like this, right? And so you can only move up and down and all this. But then there's the movement variety, right? So the map may look a little bit generic and boring because you always have your rivers running this way. You always have your roads running this way. So it may look a little nonsense in that way. But in my opinion, I was scared of it and it proved me wrong with the way that it dealt with movement and all these aspects of it. And it really is the strategy of it. Now the question is, since this is a small box game, like look at that small box, it's a small box game. It even has specks of dust. I'm just joking, I should get over that. But even though it is a small box game, would I be taking this on an airplane to play on a trip somewhere? The answer is no. Absolutely not. I couldn't. There's no way you could take this on an airplane. The space, it takes up a bit of space for one thing, and I know Teeny Epic Galaxies did too, but you could work around that. But in regards to this, you can't take this on a plane. There's too many small bits. You freaking flip one of those off, like, and it comes down to even your health markers, like the little heart and the little stamina icon. These things are teeny. They're so small. Maybe I inhaled one, I don't know. But these things are so small, you're not gonna take this on a plane because, or I wouldn't take it on a plane because I'd be concerned that I'd lose some of the cool little items for my meeples. You know what I mean? So I can't recommend it for a plane, but anywhere else, I think it's amazing. I think probably the multiplayer game is also tremendous. I'm just gonna adjust around here. Now, if you enjoy questing around, let's say you enjoy Zelda or any of these adventure games like Skyrim and whatnot, I think you would probably have a very fun time playing this game. But I think anybody, quite honestly, would have an amazing time playing this game. Great strategy game, great solo game, probably a great multiplayer game, I don't know. But on that note, I think you should go out and get this game. I don't think it will disappoint. Just make sure you don't misplace your dust. And on that note, thank you for joining me once again here on Under the Table, right here on Loaded the Tabletop. My name is Kenley, of course, that's my name. I don't know why I always say it. But I hope you enjoyed this episode of Under the Table where I review the game. Let me know if I went in depth enough or if you want me to go in depth more. I have a lot of things planned right now and queued up. So if you saw last week's episode and if you've seen this week's episode, there will be many weeks into the future where you'll be seeing episodes one after another. I can guarantee you that. I also have some excitement happening within my personal life. And eventually everybody will know about it. So until next time, I hope you are having a beautiful life. Let me know anything. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm a worm. I'm a worm, my friends. I'm a worm. Oh yeah. That's how I'm gonna end it. Oh my god.